was going to do a top 100 albums list for you, and that's not the easiest thing in the world. So I also thought about doing top 100 bands that I like, mainly for the reason of you seeing something you may not hear of, because I don't like a lot of the same stuff as you do. I'm into different kind of music, right? Maybe it's the same as you, maybe you're the same as me. I'm not really sure about that, but anyways, I do know that uh, something that I thought wouldn't take that long, which I've got prepared, is my favorite album by release, by the year of release, right? Like, so each year, what was your favorite album of that year, kind of thing. And I thought that'd be a neat idea, seeing as it's been 60 years since when I would start, which is like the beginning of the Beatles. Technically, it's 62, but 63 was when they really started kicking off, and then 64 they just went right, because the Ed Sullivan Show and stuff. But anyways, yeah, um, for because it's 60, because it's a rounded number, I thought it'd be a good idea to do it, right? Beatles being my favorite band, they started really then, kind of. Anyways, so without further ado, also, if you don't like the albums that I mentioned on here, or if you liked a different album that year, that's cool. There's lots of albums that fucking completely got overshadowed by others. There's entire bands that were overshadowed due to the fact they released albums the same year as other albums that I really liked. Uh, so yeah, just remember, I only got to pick one. And unfortunately, a lot of bands picked the same year to put out their albums. And it's like, in certain years, like 2018 was fucking annoying. Really fucking annoying. Uh, can't remember. There was another one that was difficult too, because it was just there wasn't much there. So I was just like, fuck, what do I pick, right? Anyways, without further ado, here we go. So you have necessarily the green box. Now I'm going to give you the first few as to having to add in clips as they come along. So, oh, and on a side note, it's a luxury post-COVID to own the Beatles albums. I did it one time, and I owned all kinds of albums way back when I was back home, and I had to sell all those and come out here. Now, anyways, all the albums I have now are ones that I've found to collect my collection, and pretty close to what I want, anyways. Outside of the Beatles, which are about $30 a pop, and I'm not paying that. Fuck right off. They're all bashed to shit and scratched. Anyways, so 1963 with the Beatles. 1964, A Hard Day's Night. 1965, Rubber Soul. 1966, Revolver. 1967, Magical Mystery Tour. 1968, The White Album. 1969, this album. Well, this is at least the Canadian cover you get. And that's the first Yes album. (1970) Let It Be. 1971, this one. And that's Fragile by Yes. 1972 is Close to the Edge, also by Yes. 1973 would be Tales from Topographic Oceans by Yes.
1974 would just so happen to be my favorite album, which is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway by Genesis, the last Peter Gabriel Genesis album. Fucking amazing. 1975, which is Crisis, What Crisis by Supertramp. Supertramp. Sorry, enunciate myself there a bit better. 1976 would be this one here. A New World Record by ELO. $1977 would be this one here. Going for the One by Yes. And God Love Tornado. However, 1978 is this one. Which is Prince's first album called For You. Which is really fucking good. 1979, this one here, which is Discovery by ELO. And 1980 would be the Peter Gabriel album with The Melting Face. $1981 would be Controversy, which I still haven't got back yet, by Prince. $1982 is 1999 by Prince as well, which I do not own. 1983 would be, which would be The Hurting by Tears for Fears, which is their first album. And 1984 would be Purple Rain, which I've had many times and sold many times. I mean, there. That's what that one looks like, only an album form. 1985 would be this one right here, which is the second album by Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. Uh, 1986 would be this one right here, which is So by Peter Gabriel. $1987 would be this one, which is Sign of the Times by Prince. I was going to go with the soundtrack to Robot Carnival, which is my favorite movie, but this album's just too many songs to be passing up for that. $1988, because I was having a really hard time finding anything I liked anywhere as near as much. is this one right here, which is Kylie Minogue's first album. Just for everybody's sake, to save time, have absolutely no interest in all that fucking grungy rock shit. 1989 is Seeds of Love by Tears for Fears, which is their last album. Oh yeah, that's a rare pressing. See, what's that number? I sold the other copy, the regular one. 1990 is also, fuck the 90s, by the way. I had a really fucking hard time with this one. Trying to figure out what the fuck. The 90s were brutal. Managed to get through it, though. Would be Rhythm of Love by Kylie Minogue. The later 90s was much easier. 90s was fucking brutal. So 1991, also don't have that one, would be the fourth Kylie Minogue album called Let's Get To It. $1992 would be this one. And this is a bootleg. This isn't even real. Bought it at a flea market for like $5. 1993, I also didn't have on vinyl, is Siamese Dream. $1994, I also don't have on vinyl, is the first Big Big Train album called Goodbye to the Age of Steam. $1995 was really fucking tough, because I wanted to pick this one really bad, because I absolutely adore that album. It's amazing. That was a very close call. However, I also wanted to pick Beacon Street Collection, but because it's my favorite No Doubt album. But because of the fact that it put them on the map, and because of what it did and all the other business, and how just almost every single song is fucking perfect on it. Like, just, oh my god, right? Some people hate me for it, but here you go. It's this one. That's sealed, by the way. Original print. Like, just look at the fucking tracks on that. It's ridiculous how many songs on there are not shit. Yeah, I know it's really silly. I know. However, it's fucking gorgeous just the same. Really tough decision, though, because I do love Life. It's basically my favorite Cardigans album. Now, 1996 and also 1997 were taken up by two albums that were never printed on vinyl, which should be printed on fucking vinyl, and I don't have them on CD because they're rare as fuck, are the Keys to Ascension 1 and 2. Which came out in 1996, and then in 1997 with Keys to Ascension 2. Yeah, Masterworks, fucking primo. Anyways. 1998 is Gran Turismo by the Cardigans, which I also love, but I don't have on vinyl. In 1999 was a toss-up as well between Happiness and the Fish, which is my favorite Our Lady Peace album, and Beautiful Midnight, which is my favorite Matt Good album. And I went with the Matt Good album, which I also don't have on vinyl, but I've had a chance to buy it on vinyl. He pissed me off. I went and seen him live and he wouldn't play Suburbia. He knows who I am. I was a dick about it. But I apologized and shook his hand in business at the end. Yeah, when he was leaving. Waited his boss. I'm scared him maybe. Anyways, 2000 is this one. There it is. I mean, how could it not be? Like, you fucking kidding me? That gets in just on brownie points from the other one. 2 albums in 1995 that I love the shit out of. And just, you get, no, there is other albums that are good in 2000, but I mean, come on now. How could I not? Let's see. And then 2001 is this one, which is Magnification. Magnification, which is the last quintessential Somewhat Yes album. Because it's the last one that had Chris Squire and everybody and blah, blah, blah before they divided themselves again. And then now he's gone. So yeah, they had a different singer and all this other business. But I'm not going to get into Yes semantics with you. 2002 is an album called Bard by Big Big Train. I also don't have that on vinyl. 2003, because it also was not printed on vinyl, is the only fucking reason I don't own Body Language by her. Which is my favorite album by her. Right, 2004 would be this one. It was also a toss-up, because I'm not sure if that came out the same year. But I mean, you just can't, right? Just, how can you not fucking love that? Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And right there. That's the fucking key right there. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, hands down. So, also sealed, by the way, both of those are. That's the rare one. That's the rare fucking, like, special pink fucking something. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, it's a pink swirl or some nonsense in the vinyl. 2005 is another album that I will get on vinyl, but it's not the cheapest in the world, which is Modal Soul or Model Soul or Modal. So I don't know how it's pronounced by Nujabes. (2006) is also not in this bin, sealed, due to the fact that it didn't come out on vinyl until 2021. And in 2020 is when I spent shitloads of money on albums. So, I mean, I'd get a copy if it wasn't like $200 or $300. Someday. I mean, I have it on CD. I can show you. Only vinyl. Let's see. 2007 is this one. Which is Men's Needs, Women's Needs, whatever, by the Crips. And 2008 is Friendly Fire's first album, which I don't have. Not on vinyl, anyway. 2009 is also by the Cribs. It's Ignore the Ignorant, which is not available on vinyl for anywhere near a reasonable price, so find me a copy, right? 2010 was a pain in the fucking ass. And I haven't even heard the album I put on here, so I definitely don't have it. And it's False Priest by Of Montreal. I just like the band quite a bit, and I guarantee it's worth listening to, and it's the only one I could find that I could guarantee that. 2011, I used to own on vinyl and bought when it came out, had it back home and had to sell it, was Hurry Up, We're Dreaming by M83. Fucking amazing the conceptual album. Good idea. So 2012, it only came out on picture disc, and that's quite expensive, and I'll get it eventually, but that would be Push and Shove by No Doubt. Let's see. And 2013 would be Endless Fantasy by Anna Managuchi. I was going to put in English Electric Part 1 and 2 in this spot from Big Big Train. However, just no. So, here we go. 2014 is an album by her again, which is Kiss Me Once. That's the only thing I'd find from that year that I knew I'd even listened to and could remotely say I like. And I actually do like it, but it's just not like that old stuff. The old stuff's better. Uh, 2015 would be For All My Sisters by the Crips, which is fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. Love that album. 2016 is an album I don't have, which is called... Is that album actually called that? No, bud. This Is What the Truth Feels Like. "2017 is "2018 was a fucking bitch of a time. Horrible fucking time. Hated it. I'm going with Justice and whatever Justice's album was that year. I'll show the picture. I can't remember what it's called. But it's just a compilation album of their old shit. I just couldn't sneak that in there before because it's just other albums, you know? Anyways, 2019 is this one. Which is Inflorescent by Friendly Fires. And some kind of weird vinyl too, I think. Or no, the vinyl's regular on it, or I can't fucking remember. Anyways. Almost bought the weird vinyl. I don't know. 2020, which sparked my purchasing of all these other albums on vinyl, was Night Network by the Crips, which in my opinion is the best they've done. And it's fucking gorgeous. Uh, 2021 is not in that box as well because I can't get a copy. Not for a decent price anymore. I was going to buy it, but it came out in 2021. Is Common Ground by Big Big Train. And 2022 is Welcome to the Planet by Big Big Train, which I don't own on vinyl either. I will eventually. Now, 2023, I was going to go with this. Not to be a dick or anything, but, I mean, where are you fucking thing? just was going to go with this because I actually was quite impressed with the album, right? There's quite a few songs, and there's one particular on there, right there, number 12. Warmer Weather. Yeah, that specific song I've wanted released on any kind of fucking thing for ages now. So I mean, I was going to go with that. But that Yes album that came out this year, it's the new D&D Yes. I just kind of have to go with it. Even though I'm not a big fan of D&D Yes, it's still all right. It's nothing like this stuff, you know. Like, it's nothing like the discography. I love Tornado. Right. I mean, that's a fucking masterpiece and a half. That one. See, it ends there. That's where Yes to me ends. The new Yes, the D&D Yes, where it's all quests and all this kind of thing, and Magic Potion, which is the last song on the new album. It's like the theme of it is just nah. And I gotta say, she's got another album coming at the end of the year, so it's a possibility that it might blow the doors off of shit. But I mean, literally, I avoided her album in 2018 and looked for hours. just cause, right? I did not want to. No, then I'm sorry, but fuck.